very good friend of mine. I've known him ever since he was this big. He just graduated from the fire academy, newly minted fireman. You know, I'm like so proud of him, and he's going to tell you about, you know, the whole process from the start to the beginning. So basically, that's what we want you to talk about, you know.
Awesome.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. How you
Good
guys
morning.
doing? So, like, what grade are you guys mostly in?
Most of us are juniors and a few seniors.
Okay, so you guys 17, 16? Yeah. I mean, I'll start from even from that time. Like, during that time, I'm like, oh man, I couldn't wait to graduate high school. I couldn't wait to get out and, you know, get out in the real world. But like, what? I'm 26 now. 10 years later, I'll be like, man, I wish I could do it all over again. Like, value the relationships that you encounter in here. Value the relationships that, you know, at the time it might be like, okay, I don't want to listen to the teacher, or I don't want to hear anything what's going on, but value those relationships, because the things that you learn from here will be important to you when you get out in the real world, when you are fending for yourself and when you are out in the community and being real with people. So I just wanted to kind of touch base with you with that. But to start off, in high school, I didn't have dreams to become a fireman. That wasn't the goals, that wasn't the aspiration. I actually wanted to play basketball, believe it or not. I was always a person that was, I like building relationships with people. I like being around friends. I like being around great people. I like associating myself with positive vibes, because like, even through a negative time, that positivity just always uplifts everything else. And kind of want to just say, like, my whole thing was always helping people. So when the opportunity came about, I kind of just jumped on it. I never thought, okay, I'm going to be a fireman. I just thought it was all about putting out fires, and that was it. And come to learn, it's been way more than that's probably the best decision I ever made. So the whole process started about, I'll say, a year ago. I filled out the application, went to City Hall, City of Hartford. The pretty much requirements, you had to have a high school diploma or GED, be either 18 years of age, no criminal background, and a resident of Hartford. At the time, I believe I used my grandmother's address. So I didn't hear anything about 4 months later. The whole process took about a year and a half, roughly. So it started in about 2016. So I filled out the application, didn't hear back from like 2 months. The first part was you had to take a written test. So the written test was at the Connecticut Science Center, huge room, I say about 1,000 people. Like, it was kind of overwhelming, because it was like all these people, like, dang, like, I gotta pass this test, I gotta beat all these people out. Like, I wasn't thinking that, but it was crazy. I ended up passing the test. I was, out of the 1,000, I was ranked about 105. So they were taking about roughly 200 candidates, so I kind of just really made it on the cut. It was a great feeling, because I didn't think, honestly, there was some questions I knew, some questions I didn't.
What did the test consist of?
It was like common sense stuff. Like, it was a lot of, like, they gave you maps. You pretty much kind of have to figure out, like, okay, if you were going to so-and-so address, what's the quickest way of getting here? So you read based off the map, and you go based off the map by the question bank. So it was multiple choice. They made it kind of easy, kind of, process of elimination, you know how that goes. But it was about roughly 300 questions. I was excited, like I said, I was excited. It was a great feeling. So
How long did the test take?
Well, it was about, I'll say, they gave you about 3 hours. And I used all of the time, like all of the time. So that's another thing. You guys taking big tests, I mean, if you guys taking the SATs or the whatever, make sure you use all the time. You know what I'm saying? And go with your gut. So like always, like, if you go and changing your answers, I always thought go and change your answers. You always go with your gut feeling. So if you're sure that's the answer, you circle that answer, no matter what it is. So take your time, use all the time. Don't feel like, oh, okay, this person's way before me, I should rush. Don't worry about that. Just do what works for you and use it all the time. I mean, I did, and I think it helped out a lot because I went back and reread questions, and it was pretty. I think it kind of put me over the top. So let's see. At that time now, I believe it was about another month. A few weeks later, I got the scores back. I had to take an agility test. The agility test consists of about they put about 50 pounds added weight. It's supposed to
So pretty much a test on like your strength and endurance,
yes,
things of those sorts.
exactly. You're supposed to reenact the pretty much how will it be when you have your equipment on. Because when you have your equipment on, it's about 60 pounds of additional weight, not including the tools you have, not including the tank that we breathe the oxygen in.
It's just the suit alone is already like that.
Yeah, 50 pounds, yeah. So,
That's hot.
during that whole time, I was always active, working out, tried my best to be active and work out. So I felt I was very prepared for the moment. I knew this would be a kind of a great opportunity to change my life, to feel like I'm finally doing something important. Like I said, I was kind of even no matter how old you are, I mean, you always reach a point to like, hey, what is my purpose? What do I feel like doing? You know what I'm saying? And it's okay if you don't know what you want to do as of this moment, because there's still time to figure out who you are within yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm 26 and I could still remember my high school days. I didn't know what I wanted to do. So don't feel like you have to know what you want to do. Sometimes it just comes, opportunity comes, and that's what is great about life. Just don't let opportunity pass you by, whatever it is. Whatever you're interested in, if this is music, you write lyrics every day. Do something that, I felt like the whole fire job kind of pertains to everyday life. If it's something that you are passionate about, something that you care about, whatever it is, if it's sports, if it's art, if it's camera, if it's music, if it's whatever it is, you make sure you perfect it and you work on it each and every day to be the best at it. And that's the thing about the job, like you get a chance to be better at everything every day. And that's pretty dope. I think that's what I like about it the most.
What are like difficulties you ran into as trying to become a president?
Part of the difficulties I ran, just knowing the actual job within itself. Just doing things I've never done before. Going up on a ladder, which is 60 feet, 6 stories high. I mean, I've really never even been on a ladder. I never had to go on a ladder. So kind of going through that is kind of nerve wracking. Like, oh shoot, I have to go on a ladder. Like, so, it was just different, just job things. Learning how to work with different people. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. Like, not everyone in this world is gonna like you. Not everyone is you're gonna be able to relate or even have anything in common, but it's still a professional courtesy to be professional in the world and knowing how to work with different people at the end of the day. That's real important. I took that too, learning how different people just react. They just are different, you know what I'm saying? No judgment, it's just people are different from you. That's just, what's the best part about the world? You meet different people. Go ahead.
Have you started to be in fires? Like,
Yeah, I've been in 2 fires so far.
Have you saved anybody like that was like really thanking you, like really so happy that you saved them?
Yeah, is it like a game day?
Like how, like, for example, like Chicago Fire, where they saved the people and like, oh my God, thank you, and like stuff like that.
It's so funny that you bring that up. Now that it's like now that you're in the job, like that's Chicago Fire. Some of that stuff is just like fictional. It doesn't
Too over
really,
the top.
Yeah, it just doesn't like. You'll understand, like you would think like, okay, that's what really happens. But when you're on the field, it's just some things like, okay, that's not realistic. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've been in 2 fires and it does feel like game day. Like your adrenaline is just flowing. As soon as you get the call, like the dispatch will come in, you'll hear the call, structure fire. You're just already, as it is as a newbie, I'm only been on the job officially since I graduated the academy to when I'm on the line now. I'm only been on the job 2 months and I still get the jitters on every single phone call. Especially the area I'm in is very busy, so you get a lot of hands-on learning stuff. It feels like game day when you're out there. It's crazy because you go through all these scenarios, all these different plethora of like just different reenactments of a situation of what will really happen, and it doesn't even come close to what really happens out in the real world. You know what I'm saying? So like when you pull up to the fire, it's just like, whoa, oh shoot, like yo, how put this fire out? It's crazy, it's surreal, and it makes you appreciate things a lot more when you go outside of the work, and that's what goes back to the relationships, the people around you. It just makes you appreciate a lot more, because the thing about the job, you see people at their worst, and you have to be at your best, at other people's worst. So you know, it puts you in perspective, because at the end of the day, that's someone's house on fire. That's their home. That's their belongings. Those things that they cherish are now gone. So, you know, yeah, you're like, yeah, we just put out a fire, it's cool, we did our job, but imagine how they feel, how they look at things. So it's always, you always want to put things in perspective that way. Don't kind of always look at things in a one way. Try to look at things all around you, how other people look at things.
You are so smart with that. You gotta see the bigger picture. Nobody gets that. You have to see things from both sides of the field.
You know what I'm saying? That's what everything, that's everybody you encounter, always look at things at a round spectrum. The world goes around. But in the regards to the, like I said, going through relationships was tough, a couple setbacks. It was a lot. During academy, we took tests every day. They pretty much did that to give you a lot of information to know how to think on your feet, because when you're out there, it's like a professional chaos. It's people screaming, people yelling. There's a lot of going on. So they have to challenge you and pretty much put you in a place to where, okay, you can be able to adapt to this. You should be able to adapt to certain things like that. As in regards, I took tests. You had to have a certain grade point average. You had to do physical stuff. So we did physical stuff mostly out in the day, especially out in the cold. We were out in
below zeros.
Did all the winter. Think of the whole winter this past year, and like yeah, we was outside. But I mean, like I said, it puts you in perspective. Like man, it could be a lot worse. Like so, you know, it was fun. It was a great experience meeting new people. Accomplishing a goal. The best part about it, I believe, is accomplishing the goal. And it goes back to what I said. If you have a goal, if you have anything in life and you accomplish that, that is the best surreal feeling in the world. Like nobody can tell you nothing. They can tell you nothing. What is that? You put that work in. You know what I'm saying? That's the best part about it. You put that work in, and to be able to accomplish it, it's a great feeling. It's just a real feeling. And
So where do you see yourself in like 15 years?
15 years.
Mm-hmm. What would you like to accomplish within the fire department?
Well, within the fire department, I would say it takes 5 years. It takes 3 years for you to pretty much get a promotion within the job. So there's pump operator with PO. Pump operator is pretty much the driver. That's an important job. You got to know where to go on an emergency call in an efficient amount of time. You also got to know all the specifications on, you're giving water, so you're the one that's putting water from the hydrant to the truck and feeding them the water, so you have to know the pressures, the certain amount of pressures, because it's not just, okay, you turn on the hose and
I thought that's how it went.
you turn on the hose and there's pressure, there's a certain amount of pressure coming out of that hose. So if you ante up the pressure, you can kill someone, you can hurt someone like that. You know what I'm saying? It's very powerful. But you can be a PO driver in 3 years. 2 years after that, you can be a lieutenant. And another, I believe, 4 years after that, you could be a captain, and so it's captain and then chief. I definitely had goals into being lieutenant, and I could say I'm always about moving up. So there's opportunity for me to move up. That's what I see myself doing. I think the farthest I want to go is probably lieutenant or captain. I mean, that's a lot of responsibility. It's like when you get on the job, you kind of have to just worry about, not say yourself, you have to worry about the team per se, but you're learning the job, you're learning how to become a firefighter per se. But if you're a lieutenant, you have to worry about the driver, you have to worry about your 2 firefighters in the back seat of you as a team. You go in as a team, you come out as a team.
Yeah, I thought like in TV shows, they show like the lieutenants, they don't be doing nothing, like they just be in the office.
No,
So
it's definitely, they
like
be
you're
out
still in
there.
the field.
Yeah, they're in the field. It's definitely, they're not doing it. They're not holding the holes and, you know what I'm saying? They basically have to tell you.
Directing you where to
What
go.
and okay, knock this out. They have to know all the specs of everything. So it's a very important job. But I see myself probably being a lieutenant in the fire field. It's a great job per se because you can know how to dibble and dab in a little bit of everything. You cannot just know one thing. There's times where you work overtime and you have to be a pump. You have to be a driver because a station might not have a driver for the day. Or you might be in charge, you might be the lieutenant, and that might be a day you get a fire. So you always have to be prepared in any situation because you could be put at any situation. It's not just you're gonna be in the back seat. So, definitely. I mean, any more questions?
Where are you located now?
I'm located I'm at Engine 7 and Ladder 3. It's a two-piece house. I'll explain.
Is that
as
by
well.
like Park Street, I think?
No, that's Engine 8.
Oh.
Close though. Engine 7 is Clark Street in Westland. It's off of Main Street in Harvard.
Yeah, I don't know where Main Street and Park is. I never know where that's
Where's
at.
that near?
What is that near? Downtown, the Argo Stadium. You go down. I mean,
That's like close to Capitol Park.
man.
Yeah, my brother live right on that street. On 4th Street.
Floor, yep.
Are you satisfied with the amount of money you make?
For now, yeah. I don't really do it for the money though. You know, at first it was kind of like, you kind of learn, when you take on a job like that, it's really not about for the money. I mean, money's good. I pay my bills. It's a lot more than I was making before. But to be able to, you see little kids and they be able to wave at you when you're in the truck, and it's very rewarding. I think that I can honestly feel it's one of the best jobs, other than being teachers. But it's one of the best jobs, honestly. I'm actually excited to go into work. Like, you don't really hear that a lot. Like, people are miserable. So
That's when you know you love your job and if you're
Yeah.
excited to like get go and stuff like that.
I'm very passionate about it.
There's like these movies like where they have like the firefighters they like sleep inside like their.
The bunkers,
Yeah.
yep.
Do you
Yep.
do that or no?
Yep, we stay 24 hours. The schedule is 24 hours on, and you get 3 days off. If you guys are ever interested, you guys could go down to the city hall, and they have a cadet program. So pretty much, like 16 kids, teenagers, pretty much can join the cadet program. I believe that you do get paid. I believe they'll put you in classes where you can get certain certifications to be able to become a firefighter. So pretty much, I believe it's like a 2-year, 3-year program. So you're in the program, and by the time you are 18, and when they do have open slots to rehire again, you guys will kind of like be the automatically ones. And because there were a few guys in my class who were previously cadet, because I didn't have no firefighter experience prior to this. So there were guys that was in the classroom too that were about 18, 19, and they were cadets. They were cadets for a few years, and they ended up graduating. Now they're on the line now, and they're 18, 19. So
Wait, so you said the kids get paid for them?
I mean,
3
I
years?
believe they do. I believe it's a paying job. I don't know the how, if it's weekly thing or if it's monthly or how it is, but I believe you do get paid.
Mhm.
You can seek about it at the city hall. It's in downtown Hartford.
Mhm.
Like I said, just ask and they'll give you all the information. But I believe you do get paid, and you pretty much you learn about the job, you learn about becoming a fireman, and you get all these qualifications. You become Fire 1, Fire 2. I believe they give you medical courses. You could be medically certified. It's just a great, to be already prepared, so when the time comes for them to rehire, they will automatically see, oh, okay, you guys already have experience, so you guys gonna pick you from a person that didn't have any experience, you know what I'm saying? So that's a great program in regards to that. But if you don't wanna be a fireman, like I said, man, just take all these experience and take everything as a learning situation. Stay humble, stay motivated, stay focused, on anything, whatever it is, whatever is if it's sports, if it's music, if it's anything you guys want to do, just stay focused and take it one day at a time and just stay focused on the grind.
Kadesh, do you have any responsibilities other than putting out fires?
Yes, where we are first responders, so we get every call, car accidents, gas leaks. We come to schools if there's a fire alarm, gas leaks,
That should have been here
anything.
yesterday for us then.
If someone faints, they call us. We're EMR certified, so we can do all the medical stuff prior to the ambulance getting there. So we can do CPR, we can put you on oxygen, we can, if a person's unconscious, we can have all the necessities to provide that person. Yeah, we're first responders, we see it all, so we see a lot of stuff, it's a lot. And it's like I said, it puts everything in perspective.
Have you had any like sad days yet? Like,
I wouldn't say, I would say sad moments, but you rely on your strong, you knew what you were signing up for, but you got a lot. The great thing, it's a brotherhood, so it's like a family once you're in the firehouse and once you become a fireman. They definitely ask you for support. They have, the job itself have secret, anonymous, like private hotlines pretty much, and programs, so if you're going through depression, if you're going through whatever it is, you can call that and speak to someone. So they offer out different programs for you. That's a pretty dope thing about it. It's a lot of support. You do have a lot of sad. Some days are better than others, but like I said, to have the opportunity to help out and give back, that's pretty dope.
What benefits do you have as a firefighter?
As in regards to financial or just anything?
Just anything.
It depends, I know some restaurants offer like discounts,
it's kind of like a veteran thing too.
food, yeah, and I definitely do ask though, anytime. I definitely do ask, but I mean, if you mention, especially like in the city of Hartford itself, if you do mention it, you know what I'm saying, make sure if you guys drive and wear your seatbelt, because I told them about the firemen that couldn't give me a ticket, so I was lucky about that. But yeah.
I wear my fire jacket every day.
There's some guys who don't, like, they don't take it off, like, every time.
Nah, but that's the
Joke
way
about
you
it.
jacket.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
But you get like paid vacation, a health plan,
Yeah,
retirement.
you get insurance, you get health plan, you get your 401k, you can get your retirement. So pretty much you can put a percentage of how you want to take out your paycheck. It's your money, so you know what I'm saying?
You're the one who builds your own retirement money.
Exactly.
Isn't that the point of a 401k? Isn't that what it is?
Yeah, pretty much. And at the end of the day, you want to be able to live comfortable. If your goal is, hey, not everybody's rich, but the goal is to be comfortable, to be able to provide for your family. Whenever you have a family, to be able to provide and help out and be comfortable and be happy. So save your money, and that's very important. And start from now. Definitely starting a habit from now, because that's our problem nowadays too. We're just spending our money on all these Jordans and stuff. And save your bread, man. It's important. So phone pauses too. I see. But definitely, save your money. Get it. We get insurance benefits. We get a 401k. We get pension. So it's pretty good benefits. Pretty good.
My last question though I have is like, do you have any females who work in your job?
Yes, they are. There were 2 females who graduated from our class. There were some tough. They're tough. They're tough. They're tough. There's a lot of females on the job. There's a lot of females that are in high class as well. There's a lot of it's a lot of diversity, I would say, especially with the new chief we have and the mayor. They're real big on diversity. So that's definitely it's growing, and it's definitely I know there was two females in my class, and there were about 3 in the class before that, and I know there's a couple in this class that's currently now. So and there are a lot of females on the job, so definitely.
Because when you said brotherhood, I thought like, okay, brotherhood. Why would
Oh,
people
you're
apply
right.
for
It's
it?
a brotherhood and sisterhood too.
Okay, good word.
For sure, brothers and sisters, for sure.
So thank you. We really appreciate you coming in. Your conversation was illuminating, and we appreciate you taking time out of your day to come and visit with us.
You're very busy
All right.
firefighter schedule.